Has what you've been studying been helpful to you or your life?
For me, when I began, I didn't know anything else existed besides the three principles. And I kind of feel that they made me, and I don't mean to put anything down because I think it was right for me then, but I kind of felt and I feel that I was made to feel that way. And I think a lot of people that are learning the three principles do feel that way. I see it from that Facebook group I was on, that this is the one and only thing and the one and only truth, and that and that if you don't get this understanding, then you are doing it wrong. And that's kind of what I felt, and it was true for me. And then I feel God plucked me out by force almost, because I didn't know anything else existed, so why would I look for anything else, right? And I was sent your way, and since then I never looked back, and I cannot listen to anything regarding the three principles anymore. I can't even think, I can't get it in my head. It just makes me go in my head. So I feel free. I feel like I can just, dance my way wherever it goes, and I can just explore and fail maybe, and I'm just going now with whatever's coming. And there's no rules, there's no regulations, there's no boundaries, there's no restrictions. I'm not trying to fight my way through my mind. I'm just much more whatever it is, It's just whatever it is. There's no thinking around it. For me, it's quieter. It's just simpler. It's the wholeness of being. For me, that was a big one. I went through a time, I think, that actually for me, and it could be, at one point it didn't help me anymore. It was amazing, but then the way I was taught was very much that the feeling, it's all about the feeling. And so I became very judgmental I had a very, very anxious time, terrible, terrible anxiety. And I think I had a fear when I wasn't doing well, because then where's my wisdom? Where's God? And now there's no thinking around that. It doesn't even question it. It's like, there's just this wholeness of being, and it's beautiful, the whole package, and it's meant to be, and it's all wisdom. As I said, I don't analyze so much, so I don't think so much. It's just probably is, When I used to, like years ago, try therapy, so the therapists, saw my dark side. They saw the negative side of the battery, and they couldn't see my essence. They couldn't, and that hurt me, and I never went back. And it still hurts me till this day that there's people that see as symptoms. It's just painful. In the three principles, the way I was seen was my essence, my wisdom, my essence, the positive side of the battery. And my mentor, she's amazing and she loves me to bits. She only sees my beauty. And for me, that wasn't enough, because there's too much going on here cooling out, and it just didn't sit well, and it made me probably push it away more and more frustrated, because it's there for me. It was there every day, cooling out, screaming out. And however beautiful I am, it's still there, and however much I can give and how much wisdom I have, it's still there. And for me, that just was frustrating. And then I met you and Jules, and I feel I spoke a lot to Jules, and she sees my essence, she sees my beauty, she sees my potential, but she also sees my negative side, you know. She also sees that, and she is helping me, and she helped me to welcome it, you know. And to me, that is probably more than words, you know, because now I can really start my journey. Because even if I still struggle, at least I'm welcoming and facing, and not, and I'm real with myself, you know? So yeah.
Wow, beautiful. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Seeing the whole nature of us, not just the sparkly bits or not just the sharp pointy bits, but our whole essence. And it's beautiful that you said now my journey can begin. Like
Yeah.
now I can embrace all of that I am. For people who is interested in joining Wholality and they don't know anything about it, like why would you recommend, like why would it be good for them to start this journey, this experience of their wholeness?
When you have your wholeness, when you have the full package of yourself, the full package of life, as the uniqueness in everyone, it's just the wholeness in every sense of the word, the way you and Jules presented it. I have my wholeness, I have everything in my bag, I have the understanding, and now, and everything's accepted. So I don't have the fear of like, oh, maybe I'm gonna go there and that's wrong. It's just kind of open. And so it doesn't really matter, I think, where you go with wholality. The fact is that you're whole and you know it. But from coming from the three principles, this is, to me, that is everything.
And so
Yeah.
when you say this is everything, you're saying that wholality is the whole wholeness. Is that what you mean? Or
Yeah. Yeah. And I have to add that meeting you and Jules is so amazing. And you and Jules are like the most humble and just very special people. And I'm so grateful to have met you both. And I wish I could just spend more time with you, but life is just, I just, yeah.
oh, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, from my perspective, the one thing that helps one evolve or whatever you want to call it is being humbled. Life can humble you, and in that humbleness, the universe just rushes in and fills you full of this stuff that's always been there, but you didn't know it because you thought you knew everything. It's being humbled is probably one of the most painful, but the most beautifully evolutionary things that can happen to a person.
Wow. Yeah.
Mm. Well, also, Michelle, I know that you're giving us a testimonial, but I mean, from my perspective, you've been so open-minded, so humble. Um, you're trying new things, and you've got the understanding of wholality, which isn't going to do it for everybody, but it's going to be helpful for many people. But it's your essence that has uncovered what you're uncovering now.
Yeah. 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 And I feel a lot of excitement for, I feel Also, oh, one thing that you can add as a, yeah, this is a big thing. Just have to say this, that when before I started, I told you that I thought the three principles was the only thing. So, and I had I had a lot of moments where I was very down because I didn't feel hope. And when things weren't working and I just couldn't find the right practitioner or the right course, I would get very, very unsettled. And I also felt a lot of times that there was nothing for me. And now I still sometimes could feel that, but I've been shaken to the core that I things that I never would have ever thought in life that were there, people that I never knew of that was there, ideas that I never knew of that were there, has made me realize that there's no end to what there is in the world. Like, even if this is not the end of my journey, I'm open. I'm like, you never know what can come. It's just opened so many doors and so much hope that it's in as God is infinity, it is infinity and the hope that lies, right? And the world is big and there's so many new things and I've just been opened so much. Yeah. I guess I had a lot to share. I'm so pumped because before I started, I didn't know what I was going to share because I'm sitting here like this. I was I thought, you know what? I'll just tell Rudy that I'm here because I don't see hope in the future either.
You
Yeah.
you don't know till you know.
Yeah.
And to me, open-mindedness doesn't have much to do with what you believe, and more the fact that you're open in the moment for the fresh and the newness to move through you
Yeah.
in a, and I love your expression, you know, the Michelling, the way you, I don't know, it's very refreshing. And I'm really pleased that you're letting that just express now rather than, because you know we can think we have to be like this or we should be like that, or I want to be more like him or more like her. Um, but it's saying to the color blue, no, you need to be yellow because yellow's better. When you embrace your blueness or your yellowness or whatever, sort of as a metaphor, um, the universe sings.
Yeah. Do you remember when I met you the first time? Do you see any changes?
How honest can I be with you of a scale of 1 to 10?
You very honest.
Okay, so my sense was that, and correct me if I'm wrong, and I
Please be honest. Oh my gosh, yeah.
my sense was that you were kind of in a box. You people kind of telling you what truth was, telling you what to believe, telling you what you should and shouldn't do, and there was that pain within you screaming to be communed with because there was a big part of yourself that wasn't being expressed. What I've seen is the box slowly opening, and then you released all of yourself. And now you don't need to be told what God or truth is because you feel it within yourself. You don't need to be told what to believe or what not to believe because you can change your beliefs or not have beliefs because it's up to your own free will. There's this fluidity in you now
Mm.
that's kind of liberating. Is any of that, could you resonate to any of what I said? It's just
Yes,
my perspective.
100%. Yes. You kind of said what I was saying in just a different form, you
Okay.
know? Yeah. Thank you. Yes. It's just good to hear it, you know?
Well, I don't know if I've got any questions to ask you because we've kind of have had a conversation. We've covered some really beautiful things. I mean, is there anything else that comes to mind that you'd like to say about anything or the experience you've been on with Wholality?
I guess just about communing. For me, yeah, I'm surprised at myself that I didn't share about that, because that was probably my biggest thing that I've taken from Wholality. I have so much going on in me, but the idea of going within and listening and welcoming and inviting this pain is so healing and so gentle and so comforting. It's like a blanket almost to the soul, because it's like a hug, you know, it's like giving yourself a hug for the first time, when all your life you've been shooting arrows at yourself, you know? To me, that's what communing gave me. Just that understanding has probably changed me, you know? And that's again another thing that is allowing me to go on my journey. I see that's where their answer lies. Yeah.
And I'm so pleased that you're doing that. You find your own truth, your own way, your own answers, your own wisdom, rather than people telling you.
Yeah. Yes. And it's your own truth is very, very quiet. It's very subtle. And my truth is, and I'm sure everyone's is.
To you, in one or two words or a sentence, what is this wholeness you feel? What is it to you?
So in one way, it's again the wholeness where everything and anything is possible and open to explore and to think about and to try anything. And because the wholeness is actually God, because when you allow the wholeness, when you allow possibility in everything, you're actually allowing, I feel that I'm allowing God much more in my life. I'm allowing myself to be led more rather than my head leading me. But I feel that because I'm not thinking about it, because I'm just living in that space. I'm just whole in myself, and I'm just dealing with myself in a more wholesome way. So